Electron Configuration. Alright, so these are sublevels. There are 4 of them. First one's a sphere, the second one's a peanut, the third one's a double peanut, and the fourth one's a flower. Orbitals are within sublevels, and they are the closest we can get to finding the exact location of electrons while they're still in motion. So basically, they're where electrons are running around, approximately. And because electrons never stop moving, we can never find the exact location. So that's why we use orbitals. Okay, these are the rules you have to follow when using electron configuration. Firstly, electrons enter orbitals from the lowest energy first, so use Aufbau's chart, which I'll show you in a minute. Secondly, electrons have to spin the opposite way if they're living in the same house, and there can only be 2. So if one's going this way, the other has to go this way, and there can't be 2 because if they're both spinning this way, then the world ends. Thirdly, in the peanut, double peanut, and flower sublevels, every single orbital has to have an electron before anyone can have 2. So, like if you have a peanut sublevel and there are 3 orbitals, and you only have 3 electrons, you can't fill this one up and fill this one up and leave this one hanging, because he'd be really sad. This is Aufbau's chart. You start at the bottom and work your way up. But it's kind of like the chemistry tornado, because you're working in kind of a random modge podge of crazy. There's not really a method to the madness either. You just follow from the lowest energy to the highest energy, and there's not really a method to it. Alright, these are the correct and incorrect ways to use orbital notation. Correct way, you only use 2 in an orbital, and they go opposite ways. Incorrectly, you put way more than 2 in one, or you write them going the same way. Alright, this is just an example of orbital notation, and we use chlorine. So you would start with 1s because it's the lowest energy. If you go back to Aufbau's chart, you would see that. And move to 2s, 2p, which instead of having 1 orbital, it has 3 because it's a different sublevel. S is the sphere, P is the peanut, and P's have 3 orbitals. And when you get to the last one, even though you have 3 orbitals, you don't have enough electrons to fill it all the way up. Alright, this is sublevel notation. It's a lot like orbital notation, but it's a little bit easier to write. You're starting again with Aufbau's chart at the lowest energy, and you're writing the number of electrons and working your way up to the end. And again, you don't have enough to fill the last orbitals. Even though you have 3 orbitals and have a possibility of 6 electrons in the orbital, you only need 5 to reach 17.